Hi, welcome to this session. I'm going to show you how to send an automated email. So in this particular example, I'm going to send remittance advice, but you could use it for any sort of automated email you need to do in SharePoint. So I'm just starting off by creating a list with a few custom columns. So this is going to be my customer list that's going to contain the email address that I'm going to use and the lookup fields. So I'm just going to create one with a few fields, things like VAT registration, postal address, contact details, email address, and the account's email address, which is the address I'm going to use to send the email. So I'm just going to create these in a SharePoint list very quickly for you. I'm going to skip some of this part. So here's my final list. If I create a new item, you can see I can fill in the company name, the postal address, and all the rest of the contact details. The ones I'm going to use are the VAT registration number and the account's email address, because I'm going to use those to send the automated email. So I've got one item in my customer list. So now I'm just going to create the next list I'm going to use to send the email. So this is going to be my remittance advisor. So I'm just going to create another custom list and call this one remittance advice. So again, in this list, I'm going to create a few more custom columns. So I'm just going to go to library settings, and we can see out of the box columns you've got things like title, but that's about it. So I'm going to create a few extra ones here. Okay, so I've created a few custom columns on this list. So we've got the remittance ID, that's just an ID for it, and then the amount, which is a currency item, and then the VAT, another currency item. And then we've got a lookup list, which looks up that customer list we made earlier. And I've also brought across a few columns when you pick that lookup for the customer name. It also brings across a VAT number and also the account's email address. So this is where we get to the exciting bit in SharePoint Designer. So I've opened this particular subsite in SharePoint Designer. If I go to Lists and Libraries in my Remittance Advice library, you can see you've got a workflow section here. And to create a new one, you just click New Workflow, and I'll give it a name, Remittance Advice, or something that is going to send an email. And for this particular example, I'm going to pick the SharePoint 2010 Workflow Engine, and then just click OK. So you can see here we've got our step one, and it's going to be a very simple workflow. We're just going to send an email out. So I'm just going to type in send, press return, and then you can create your email inside this GUID interface. So I'm going to press to a workflow user and click add, and this will allow you to select a column from that particular list. So I'm going to pick the supplier email address, which was linked across when we pick the company name. And when you do select this, you need to select the actual value of it, lookup value, not the actual string itself, otherwise you'll get a #1 appearing in front of it because it's a choice option. And the subject, you can just type in text into here, or you could use the string builder on the right hand side to create a more interesting subject header using those variables inside the list item. So inside the main body of here, I can add any plain text, any HTML, but I can also add some lookup items here. So I've just selected on the current item, and don't forget to always display it as text, not a string, because you'll get the strange like #1 symbol in front of it because it's a choice item. So you can select some other fields, so I'm just selecting the VAT registration number on there as well as the company name, and I'm going to put on the amount because this is just going to be a very, very simple remittance advice reminder. So the amount paid, and then I'm just going to add another lookup and select that column from my list. And again, make sure it's the text value. Click OK, and then when you're happy with that, very simple email structure, you can click OK on there. You can always come back and edit this later to send out future emails with a different template if you wanted to. So when I've clicked OK, I'm just going to stop the workflow after that, and I'm going to log a message, and I'm going to use a string builder just to show which email address it's being sent to, and that just helps me debug the workflow. You know, if it's going to the wrong email address or it's saying there's a problem sending the email, at least this way it will log which email address it's trying to send it to. So again, I'm just going to show that as text, and you need to make sure that this workflow starts when an item is created as well. I'm just going to give this step a title, but you don't have to do that. So if we go back to the workflow properties, a level above this, you can actually tick the box to start the workflow when a new item is created, and then just publish it when you're ready. So back in our remittance list, if we add a new item now, so I'm just going to add a second item, number 2, put in an amount and a VAT amount, and select the company lookup, and click OK. You'll see those email address is brought in, but you also see there's an extra column on here now for the workflow. That says in progress. Now if you keep pressing F5 or refreshing the page, you'll eventually see that either say completed or it might error. And if you want to see the details of that workflow, you can just click on the word in progress or completed, and that will show you where that email address has been sent, because that's what we logged to the system. So that seems like it's correct, and I can show you here that the email has come through to me with that information on that I entered into the workflow, and you can see that comes from the SharePointonline.com address, which is where all your workflows will come from, or all emails sent through the workflow engine.